Jay here. Welcome to Intermediate Guitar Chapter 9. Okay, we're going to keep cruising through our major and minor bar chords. We're almost done with all of our keys. Today we're going to talk about the key of G sharp. Okay, I want to point out that G sharp is enharmonically, also called A flat. So as we talk about some of our sharps and our flat keys, let's also acknowledge that there's two ways to call out some of these, and we'll use both of them. Okay, now I'm going to be leaning more towards the sharp side of things in this book, but also just equally important to acknowledge the flat side too, as sometimes it depends on the key we're in, and the maybe the writer of the song or the composer might have some different ways that they like to write. So it's good to be prepared for both sharps or flats. Okay, let's start off with our G sharp major bar chord. This is going to be the same shape we've used for all of our low 6-string shaped chords. And now we're going to be based off of our 4th fret on the 6th string. So I've got my index finger on the 4th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 6th fret 5th string, pinkies on the 6th fret 4th string, middle fingers on the 5th fret 3rd string, and then bar to get the 4th frets with your index on the 1st and 2nd string. Okay, I'm using some pressure with my thumb on the back of the neck. And that's your G sharp major bar chord. Okay, now as these bar chords are tricky, let's also put out a couple mini versions of our chords. So for G sharp mini number 1, I'm just going to have 3 notes on 3 high strings. I have my middle finger on the 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then barring with my index to get the 4th frets on the 2 high strings. It's G sharp mini number 1. For G sharp mini number 2, I'm just going to add my ring finger to the 6th fret on the 4th string. And then for G sharp mini number 3, I'm going to swap my pinky where my ring was. Now my ring finger goes to the 6th fret on the 5th string. And I want to point out that this mini version is almost a full bar chord if you just add your index finger getting all the way to your low 6th string. Okay, now for your G sharp minor, all we're going to do is just remove our middle finger. And I also recommend to help support your bar by just laying your middle finger on your index finger. Now, we've got a G sharp minor bar chord. I've got my index fingers still on the 4th fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 6th fret 5th string, pinkies on the 6th fret 4th string, and then barring with my index to get the 4th frets on the 3 high strings. Okay, now here's some mini versions of our minor chord. For G sharp mini number 1, just use your index finger to bar your 4th frets on the 3 high strings. For G sharp mini number 2, add your ring finger to the 6th fret on the 4th string. And then for G sharp mini number 3, just swap your pinky where your ring was. Now move the ring finger to the 6th fret on the 5th string. And again, I want to point out that if you just use your index finger to bar the whole 4th fret, you would have a full G sharp minor bar chord. This chapter of Strum Pattern is going to feature some 8th notes and 16th notes. When you see the box without a bottom, that's a down strum, and an arrow pointing down is an up strum. Okay, we're going to have 8th notes on beats 1 and 4, and you could just do 2 down strums for that. For beats 2 and 3, we'll have 16th notes, and you can go down, up, and I'll go ahead and demonstrate this pattern without a chord. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll just be playing each of these one time, but I recommend repeat all these 8 to 12 times. Check out your different tempos, slow, medium, and fast. Okay, go ahead and grab your G sharp major, and we're going to go 4 bars with that pattern. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. I recommend to incorporate a metronome. I'm going to have my click at 60 beats a minute, and here's number 1 with the click. 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. For number 2, we're going to go 4 bars of G sharp minor. 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. faster. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. For number 3, we're going to have an 8-bar progression. We'll go 4 bars of G sharp major into 4 bars of G sharp minor. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 and. For number 4, we're going to go 2 bars of G sharp major into 2 bars of G sharp minor. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 and. For number 5, we're going to go 1 bar of G sharp major into 1 bar of G sharp minor, and then repeat that again for bars 3 and 4. 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, for number 6, we're going to start to incorporate some chords from our previous chapters and also include some rhythms that we've been talking about. For number 6, we're going to start off normal pattern on G sharp major for the first bar. On bar 2, we're going to have a half note for the first 2 beats, and then we'll resume our pattern for beats 3 and 4. We're going to switch it to an A major and normal pattern for bar 3, and then on bar 4, we'll have normal pattern, but then we'll have a half note for the last 2 beats of bar 4. Now for your A major bar chord, it's going to be the same exact shape as our G sharp major, but just up a fret. So I'm just going to move my index finger now to my 5th fret on the 6th string. I have my ring finger on the 7th fret 5th string, pinky's on the 7th fret 4th string, middle's on the 6th fret 3rd string, and then barring with my index to get the 5th frets on the first 2 strings. Here's your A major. Okay, here comes number 6. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. 2. Now, I also want to point out, if the bar chords are too tricky, try out your mini versions. And then for some of these chords too, like A and C, as we'll be playing, you could just do your open position chords too, if you like. Okay, let's look at number 7. We're going to start off with a G sharp minor, and we'll have a whole note for bar 1. That'll be a chord lasting for 4 beats. We'll have a normal pattern on bar 2. Whole note rest on bar 3. We won't play anything. And then we're going to switch it to an F minor for the last bar with our normal pattern. Okay, now for your F minor, it's the same shape as your G sharp minor, but I'm just going to bump it back to my 1st fret on the 6th string. So now I have my index finger on the 1st fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 3rd fret 5th string, pinkies on the 3rd fret 4th string, and then barring to get the 1st frets on the 3 high strings. I'm also going to just reinforce with my middle finger to lay on my index finger to help with some of that pressure. Okay, here comes number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 8. For number 8, we're going to start off with a G sharp major. We'll go normal pattern on bar 1. Bar 2's normal pattern, but with a quarter note rest on beat 1. We won't play anything for that 1 beat. On bar 3, we'll take it to a G major. We're going to have normal pattern, but with a half note rest for the first 2 beats for that bar 3. Go to bar 4, normal pattern with a quarter note rest on beat 4. On bar 5, we're going to go to a C minor. We'll have normal pattern. On bar 6, normal pattern, but a quarter note rest on beat 2. We'll switch it to a C major for bar 7, normal pattern. And then on bar 8, we'll have normal pattern, but a half note rest for beats 3 and 4. Okay, now your chords for number 8, we're going to have a G major. That's basically the same shape as our G sharp major. Just scoot it down a fret to your 3rd fret. So now my index on the 3rd fret 6th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 5th string, pinkies on the 5th fret 4th string, middles on the 4th fret 3rd string, and then barring with my index to get the 3rd string on to get the 3rd fret on the 2 high strings. For your C minor, I'm just going to do my minor shape based off of the 5th string. So I have my index on the 3rd fret 5th string, ring fingers on the 5th fret 4th string, pinkies on the 5th fret 3rd string, middle is on the 4th fret 2nd string, and then barring with my index to get the 3rd fret on the 1st string. And I'm also making some contact to mute that low 6th string. There's your C minor. For C major, this is going to be the major shape off of the 5th string. So I have my index finger on the 3rd fret 5th string, and then barring with my ring to get the 5th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. I'm going to make contact to mute my low 6th string, and also ramp out of my bar chord to mute the 1st string too with my ring finger. Okay, here comes number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 Okay, for the last one, number 9, we're going to go to a G sharp minor. We'll have normal pattern for the first 2 bars. We're going to go to a B major bar chord, and we're going to do a half note for the first 2 beats on bar 3, and then we're going to have a tied half note to another half note. So on beat 3 of that 3rd bar, we're going to hit a half note, let it linger for beats 3 and 4, and then let it keep lingering for the first 2 beats of bar 4, and then we'll hit another half note for beats 3 and 4 of the bar 4. And then for your B major, it's going to be the same shape we did off of C, but now we're on our 2nd fret on the 5th string. So I have my index, 2nd fret 5th string, barring with my ring to get the 4th frets on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, and then muting my 1st and my 6th string. There's your B major bar chord. Okay, here comes number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, for this chapter scales, we're going to talk about G sharp major and G sharp minor, and we're also going to start to connect our scales to the next position up, the neck. So we're going to start to map out our neck a little bit at this point. And let's start off with identifying the notes of a G sharp major scale. Our notes are going to be G sharp, A sharp, C, C sharp, D sharp, F, G natural, and then back to a G sharp. I want to point out that once we get into these really heavy sharp keys, we're going to have some notes that might be like a B sharp, technically, theoretically, but usually just refer to those as a C natural, and an F flat could be an E natural too. So as we get into some of these interesting keys, I just want to point out that I'll be using more of the natural notes that we would call out in a band setting. But theoretically, sometimes we do get into some more interesting naming of these notes. Okay, now I also want to remind you that G sharp major is also the same keys. It's the same notes as our A flat major too. And if we were in A flat major, we would be looking at these notes from more of a flat perspective too. I also recommend to know what your flat notes are too. Okay, let's go ahead and play our G sharp major scale. On your 6th string, we're going to go 4 to 6. On the 5th string, we'll go 3, 4, 6. 4th string is 3, 5, 6. 3rd string is 3, 5, 6. 2nd string is 4 to 6. On your 1st string, we'll go 3, 4. And then we'll go a little bit past this G sharp. That's our 2nd octave. We're going to go also up to 6 and 8. Okay, now coming back down on the 1st string, we'll go 6, 4, 3. 2nd string is a 6, 4. 3rd string is a 6, 5, 3. 4th string is a 6, 5, 3. 5th string is a 6, 4, 3. And then 6th string is a 6, 4. Okay, now here's quarter notes going up the G sharp major scale. 3, 4. also recommend to do our 4 basic rhythms: quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and 16th notes. So just did my quarter notes. Now this would be eighth notes, and I'm going to go 2 on each note, 3 and 4 and. Okay, for my eighth note triplets, I'm going to do this with a metronome. This will be 3 on each note. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, now I want to point out you can also just do 1 on each note if you'd like to. Okay, now for 16th notes, you could do 4 on each note or just 1 on each note. I'm going to do 1 on each note. 1, 2, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, for number 2, we're going to take our G sharp major scale into the next position up the neck. And one good goal as a guitarist is to start to learn your different positions and then start to blur those positions together, and then you can have your whole neck to play with for your scales. So for this one, I'm going to hit my G sharp on my 4th fret, and then I'm just going to use my index finger to climb up into now my 6th position, and then from here I'll go 6, 8, 9. So on my 6th string that would be a 4, 6, 8, 9, and I'm just using my index finger for 2 notes. Okay, now we're going to just climb up in our 6th position, and I also want to point out that we're basically playing an A sharp Dorian scale right now, and we'll learn more about Dorian, but Dorian's based off of the 2nd note of our major scale, and that's also a good scale to know because it kind of helps to map out the neck too. Okay, now on my 5th string, I'm going to go 6 to 8. On the 4th string, I'm going to go 5, 6, 8. 3rd string's a 5, 6, 8. 2nd string's a 6, 8, 9. And then 1st string is a 6, 8, 9. Okay, descending, we'll go 8, 8 to 6 on the 1st string. 9, 8, 6 on the 2nd. 8, 6, 5 on the 3rd. 8, 6, 5 on the 4th. 8, 6 on the 5th, and then 9, 8, 6, 4 on your 6th string. And then you can just use your index finger twice to climb you back down. Okay, here's that scale, just doing quarter notes. I'm not going to do all the 4 basic rhythms, but I do recommend for you to practice those too. 3, 4. Okay, for number 3, we're going to start to connect these 2 positions just on 1 string. Now, we already kind of did this one, but let's go ahead and just start with our 6th string. It's going to be 4, 6, 8, 9, and then we'll backtrack down again, 8, 6. Okay, now on your 5th string now, for B, we're going to go 3, 4, 6, 8, 6, 4. For C, we're going to go on the 4th string, 3, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5. Okay, for number 4A, we're going to go to our 3rd string and we'll go 3, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5. For B, we'll go to our 2nd string, we'll go 4, 6, 8, 9, 8, 6. And then for C, on the 1st string, we'll go 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 8, 6, 4. Okay, now for number 5, I'm going to ascend the scale in our 3rd position. I'm going to climb it up to my highest note on my 1st string, and then I'm going to descend it down in my 5th position. 3, 4. Okay, for number 6, I'm going to ascend in my 5th position, take it all the way up on my 1st string, and then descend down in my 3rd position. Here we go. 3, 4. Okay, let's talk about the G sharp minor scale. To make a minor scale, we're going to flat the 3rd, 6th, and 7th from our major scale. So now we're going to have the notes G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, and then to our G sharp. Okay, now on your 6th string, we're going to go 4, 6, 7. 5th string, 4, 6, 7. 4th string, 4 to 6. 3rd string is a 3, 4, 6. 2nd string is a 4, 5, 7. And then 1st string is a 4, 6, 7. Okay, descending it back down, we'll go 6 to 4 on the 1st string, 7, 5, 4, 2nd string, 6, 4, 3, 3rd string, 6 to 4 on your 4th string, 7, 6, 4 on the 5th string, and then 7, 6, 4 on the 6th string. Okay, now I'm just going to do quarter notes, but I do recommend work your 4 basic rhythms for all these scales. Here we go. 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to jump up and play the next position higher on our neck for this scale too. So, also want to point out, we're going to be climbing up and we're basically going to be up in like a B major zone. And I want to point out that on your 7th fret, that's our note B, that's our relative major to our minor key of G sharp. The relative major is built off the 3rd note of your minor scale. And that's a good way we can use not only to run some different scales, but also to help map us out our neck too. And I use it all the time. And we'll be talking about the relative majors and relative minors as the book progresses too. Okay, now to get me on up, I'm going to use my index finger. I'm going to go 4 to 6. And at this point, I'm going to go 7 to 9 on my 6th string. And just want to point out that 7th fret, that's that note B. So you're going to start to see like a B major scale pop out here too. Okay, now on my 5th string, I'm going to stay up in this position and I'm going to go 6, 7, 9. On the 4th string, 6, 8, 9. 3rd string, 6, 8, 9. 7 to 9 on the 2nd string. And then on your 1st string, it's a 6, 7, 9, 11. Okay, coming back down, we're going to go 9, 7, 6 on the 1st string. 9 to 7 on the 2nd string. 9, 8, 6, 3rd string. 9, 8, 6, 4th string, 9, 7, 6, 5th string, and then on my low 6th string, I'm going to go 9, 7, 6, 4. Okay, here's the scale, just doing quarter notes. 3, 4. Okay, now for number 3 and number 4, we're going to start to do some 1 string connecting these 2 positions. So for number 3A, on your low 6th string, we're going to go 4, 6, 7, 9, 7, 6. For B, we're going to go 4, 6, 7, 9, 7, 6. For C, we're going to go 4, 6, 8, 9, 8, 6. For number 4A, we're going to go to the 3rd string and go 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 6, 4. on the second string, we're going to go 4, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5. And for C, on the first string, we're going to go 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 9, 7, 6. Okay, for number 5, we're going to ascend in the 4th position, take it up to your highest note on the first string, and then descend in 6th position. Here's number 5, 3, 4. Okay, now for number 6, I'm going to ascend in 6th position and then climb it all the way up to my highest note on the first string, but then take it down to descend in 4th position. 3, 4. Okay, now I always recommend to jam on your chords and your scales. So for this one, it's kind of fun. Now we have 2 different positions to play with our scales. I'm going to start to jam a little bit on those 2 positions and then start to blur those definitions. And that's the ultimate goal. Okay, now I'm going to jam a little bit on a G sharp major chord and play some G sharp major scales. 3, 4. Practice some chords, a little more scales. Okay, now here's a little G sharp minor, jamming in my 2 different positions. 3, 4. Some chords, some scale. Some chords, some more scale. All right, for this chapter study, we're going to talk about intervals. Intervals are the way that we name the distance between 2 notes. Now, if it's a short interval, if it's a long interval, there'll be a certain name for that jump between the 2 notes. Okay, we're going to start off with the smaller intervals and we'll end off with a larger one that will go all the way to an octave for this. Okay, now let's start off with number 1 and we're going to talk about minor seconds. Okay, a minor second is just a half step. So let's say if I were to go for number 1A, if I were to go 4 to 5 on my 6th string, that's a G sharp to an A, and that's a half step. Okay, now if we play both these 2 notes at the same time, you're going to hear a big crunch in there because these notes are so close, but if I hit my 4th fret on the 6th string and my open 5th string, that's a minor second played at the same time. So here's separate, and then here's same time. Okay, let's take it to the next one. We're going to do a G and an A flat on the 4th string, which would be my 5th and my 6th fret. Okay, now I'm going to hold that G with my pinky on the 5th fret 4th string, and I'm going to grab an A flat on my 1st fret on the 3rd string. That's a minor second, splitting it between these 2 strings. And you're going to notice there is a stretch involved in some of these. Okay, for the next one, we're going to do a C and a D flat. That's my 1st and 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And if I play both these notes together, I'm going to grab the note C on my 5th fret 3rd string, and then my D flat on my 2nd fret on the 2nd string. That's the sound of a minor second. And you're going to notice, depending on the strings we're on, that might dictate the stretch. With our 3rd and our 2nd string, the way the guitar is tuned, that stretch is going to be a smaller reach than our one we did right before with our 4th and our 3rd string. Okay, let's take it to number 2. Now we're going to do a major second. A major second is also called a whole step, and that's going to be 2 frets basically if we were on one string. So if I do a G and an A on my 6th string, that'd be my 3rd and my 5th fret. Now if I hit that G in my open A string, my open 5th string, that would be the sound of a major second played at the same time. Okay, for the next one, we're going to do an E and an F sharp on the 4th string. That's a 2 and a 4. Okay, now to play both these notes together, I'm going to grab my E on the 7th fret on the 5th string, and then my F sharp on the 4th fret 4th string. And that's the sound of a major second at the same time. Okay, one more. Let's do a B flat and a C on the 3rd string. We're going to do the 3rd and the 5th fret. Okay, now I'm going to play both these notes at the same time by having my 3rd fret on the 3rd string with my ring, and I'm going to grab the note C on my 1st fret 2nd string, and that's what a major second looks like on these 2 strings. Okay, let's take it to number 3. Now we're going to do a minor third. A minor third is going to be basically 3 frets of a jump on one string. So for an F sharp and an A, I'm going to do my 2nd and my 5th fret on the 6th string. Now to play them at the same time, I'm going to play my F sharp on that 2nd fret 6th string, and then my open 5th string. And that's the sound of a minor third. Okay, now to the 4th string, we're going to do an F and an A flat. That's a 3 and a 6. Okay, now playing both these at the same time, I'm going to use my ring finger to get the note F, 3rd fret 4th string, and then with my index, get your 1st fret on the 3rd string. That's an A flat. And that's what a minor third sounds like on these 2 strings. Okay, now to the 3rd string, we'll do an A and a C. That's a 2 and a 5. Okay, now at the same time, I'm going to use my middle and get the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then my 1st fret on the 2nd string. And there's your minor third. Okay, let's take it to number 4. Now we're going to do a major third. Now we have an interval that's getting a little bit larger. From our F to an A on our 6th string, that would be our 1st fret, up to our 5th fret. That's a major third. Now if I play both these together, I'll hit the F on my low 6th string on the 1st fret, and then just hit your open 5th string. And that's the sound of a major third. Also real popular, thirds are great for harmonies too, instrumentally or vocally too. Okay, now for an E and a G sharp on the 4th string, it's going to be a 2 and a 6. Okay, now to play both these notes at the same time, I'm going to use my middle finger and get the note E, 2nd fret 4th string, and then my index gets the 1st fret on the 3rd string. There's my G sharp. And that's what a major third looks like on these strings. Okay, now take it to your 3rd string. For an A and a C sharp, that's going to be a 2 and a 6. And at the same time, that would just be my 2nd frets both on my 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, let's take it to number 5. Now we're going to do a perfect fourth. A fourth is going to be, again, we're getting larger inner intervals. So for an E and an A, if I go on my 6th string open to 5, that's the sound of a perfect fourth. And then at the same time, if I just hit my open 6th and 5th string, that's the sound of a perfect fourth together. Okay, now to do it on our 4th string, we'll do a G and a C. We'll go 5 to 10. At the same time, it's just going to be my 5th frets on the 4th and 3rd string. That's perfect fourth. Okay, now on my 3rd string, I'm going to do a B and an E. That's a 4 and a 9. Now at the same time, it's going to be 4th fret on my 3rd string, 5th fret on my 2nd string. Okay, let's go to number 6. Now we're going to do an augmented 4th, which is also like a diminished 5th. So let's take a look at it. Now, if we do an E and a B flat on the 6th string, that would be open to 6. Okay, I want to point out that this interval is also called a tritone. So some of these have a lot of tension on their own. They're also pretty cool sounding, I think. Okay, now those same 2 notes, if I hit my open 6th string, that's my E, and my 1st fret on the 5th fret on the 5th string, that's my B flat. That's what they would sound like together. So you will hear that tension. That's that tritone sound. Okay, now to the 4th string, we'll go 1 to 7. That's an E flat and an A. Okay, now to play both these at the same time, we're going to do index finger gets the 1st fret on the 4th string, and then middle gets the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And that's your tritone. Okay, now on the 3rd string, if we do an A and an E flat, we'll go 2 to 8. And then to play both these notes at the same time, notice this different shape. It's going to be a 2 on the 3rd string with my index, and then with your ring, you can grab the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And there's your augmented 4th, diminished 5th, or tritone, either way you want to call it. Okay, let's take on over to number 1 on page 2. We're going to do a perfect 5th. Perfect 5ths are also what we have in our power chords. When you see an E5, it's telling you they want a root in a 5th kind of sound, so that's what a perfect 5th sound is going to be like. Let's do an E and a B on the 6th string. It'll be open and your 7th fret. Okay, now if we do them at the same time, it's going to look just like your open E power chord, open 6th string, and then 2nd fret on your 5th string. Okay, now let's do an F and a C on the 4th string. That's a 3 and a 10. Now at the same time, it's going to be that power chord shape. It's going to be a 3rd fret on the 4th string and a 5th fret on your 3rd string. That's those 2 notes at the same time. Now to your 3rd string, we'll do an A and an E. That's a 2 and a 9. And then this power chord shape's got a little bigger of a stretch in it. It's going to be a 2nd fret on my 3rd string, and then I'm going to grab the 5th fret on my 2nd string. Okay, let's take it to number 2. Okay, now we're going to do a minor 6. This interval has a little more tension in it. Okay, now if we do an E and a C on the low 6th string, that'll be an open 8. Okay, now if I play these together, open 6th string and then 3rd fret on your 5th string. Kind of hear that tension there. That's a minor 6. On your 4th string, we'll go 2 to 10. That's an E and a C. Same notes, just an octave higher. And then to play these at the same time, I'm going to do kind of like it's almost like a power chord, but a little bit larger, I guess. So index is on the 2nd fret 4th string, and then with my pinky, I grab the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. I'm sorry, 5th fret on the 3rd string. Okay, I also want to point out, instead of grabbing the note C here, I can grab it on the 1st fret 2nd string, so I would just skip a string. I could also play it that way. Okay, now let's do a B and a G on the 3rd string. That's a 4 and a 12. These 2 notes, I'm going to hit my 4th fret on the 3rd string with my index, and then I'm going to grab the 8th fret on the 2nd string with my pinky. Okay, now that G is also my 3rd fret on the 1st string, so I can just skip a string and play it like that too. Okay, let's take it to number 3. Now we're going to do major 6. Okay, if I go an E to a C sharp on the 6th string, that'd be an open and a 9. Okay, now if I play both these notes at the same time, I'll just hit my open 6th string, and then I'll hit my 4th fret on the 5th string. Sound of a major 6. Okay, now on your 4th string, if I do an E flat and a C, that's a 1 and a 10. Okay, now to play both these notes at the same time, I can stretch and do 1st fret on the 4th string to a 5th fret on the 3rd string, or just use, let's say, my middle and my ring finger and just get my 1st fret on the 4th and 2nd string and just skip that string. And then you'll see, like, these are really cool guitar shapes right here. Probably even more popular those same fret shapes for our sixth. Okay, now to your third string, if we do an A and an F sharp, that's a 2 and an 11. Okay, for this one, we have a couple options. We could do a big old stretch and do a 2 to a 7 on our second string. But more realistically, I would probably just do second fret third string and second fret first string, just skipping that second string. And there's your major 6. Okay, let's take it to number 4. Now we're gonna do a minor 7th. So we're almost up at an octave right now. We've just got a couple more to go. Okay, now from an E to a D, that'd be an open 10 on your 6th string. Okay, now to play these at the same time, open 6th string and 5th fret on your 5th string. That's the sound of a minor 7th. Okay, now if we do an E and a D on the 4th string, that's a 2 and a 12. Okay, now to play these at the same time, we could have a really big stretch, 2nd fret 4th string to 7th fret 3rd string. But might want to just check into hitting our D on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret and skipping that string. Okay, now for the 3rd string, if we go 2 to 12, that's an A and a G. And at the same time, I'm just gonna do 2nd fret 3rd string, 3rd fret 1st string, and skip that string. And then notice too, for some of these, when I'm skipping a string, I'm probably gonna do pick and just use my middle finger, or you could use your ring too, but I am doing pick and fingers to get these 2 notes at the same time. Okay, let's take it into a major 7th. Major 7th's a cool interval, it's got a lot of tension in it. If we do an E to a D sharp, that's an open 11 on our 6th string. Now hit both these notes at the same time, open 6th string, 6th fret on your 5th string. And you'll hear that tension. And you're hearing that tension because you're almost up to that note E. That would be the octave if I go to my 7th fret. So 6th fret, you're gonna really hear that major 7 tension. It's a pretty cool sound. Okay, now on your 4th string, let's go 1 to 12. That's an E flat and a D. Okay, now to play both these at the same time, I'm gonna go 1st fret on the 4th string and then 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Okay, now on your 3rd string, we'll go 1 to 12. That's an A flat and a G. And at the same time, 1st fret 3rd string, 3rd fret 1st string. Okay, for number 6, the last one, we're just gonna do octaves. So octave is the same note, just an octave higher. If we go open to 12 on your 6th string, there's your 2 E's right there. At the 12th fret, the guitar repeats. Okay, now I hear these at the same time. If I just go to my open 6th string and then my 7th fret 5th string, there's your octave. Okay, now on your 4th string, let's go 2 to 14. That's an E to an E. And then we can play both these notes in unison on our 2nd fret 4th string and 5th fret 2nd string. And you're gonna see that's the octave shape. We'll be using that quite a lot. And then this octave shape changes when we're on our 2 lower strings. I just wanna point that out. But for the 2 higher strings, that's our shape. Okay, now on the 3rd string, let's go 12 to 14. That's an A and an A. And then to play both these, it's that same shape. I'm gonna go index on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, pinky grabs the 5th fret on the 1st string. And that's your octave shape for these 2 strings. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll look forward to seeing you for chapter 10. Cheers.